Hello. Do you want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game? Now, does this line sound familiar? If it does, I'm assuming you're familiar with the Saw movies and the insanely scary traps characters get stuck in, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey YouTube, I'm Court McGinley and welcome back to the most amazing top 5. Before we get started, I want to know, what jigsaw trap do you think is the scariest? Let me know your answers down in the comments. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and give this list a big thumbs up so I can keep bringing you awesome top 5 videos. Alright, let's get started on our list of the top 5 scariest jigsaw traps. Coming in at number 5, classroom trap. This trap is from Saw 3 and it's so messed up. In this clip we have a boy named Troy who wakes up in a classroom in his underwear with chains attached to his arms, legs, and the worst of all, his lips. Well, it's more than his lip actually. This chain has gone through his jaw, so more than his lip. He wakes up in a bloody panic and then a TV turns on and we see Jigsaw. Jigsaw goes on to tell Troy that he was given a life of privilege but took it for granted. And this is because he keeps going to jail, and says that tonight they are going to see how far Troy will go to break the chains once and for all. The TV then turns off and Troy turns to see a bomb with a 1:30 countdown. So basically Troy has to rip all the chains out of his flesh in under 1:30 if he wants to live. Troy rips out all of the chains except for the one that goes to the bottom of his mouth before time runs out. In at number 4, Lover's Triangle Trap. This is from Saw 7 and it was 3D because that's just what you want when you come to watch a horror movie. This was actually one of the traps in the series that played out in public. In this trap we have Brad and Brian in a display window hooked up to a saw. Then appears Dana suspended from the ceiling. Obviously this draws in quite the crowd. Then Jigsaw appears and tells the trio that Dana's been playing both of these guys and has been using them to get material possessions. Jigsaw tells them that they have 60 seconds to choose which one of them will die. If the guys want to save their girlfriend, then they are going to have to kill one another by pushing the saw all the way to the other side and cutting into the other person's chest. Or they could leave the saw in the middle, and that would cause it to cut into their beloved girlfriend. The saw starts up and Dana tells Brad to kill Brian. Obviously this infuriates Brian, so he uses all his strength and slightly cuts into Brad. Then Dana's up there saying that now she loves Brian. Brian tells Dana to f herself and pushes the saw to the middle of the table. Brad and Brian make a pact to let Dana die since she was clearly a liar. And then the saw slices into Dana's stomach and she gets cut in half and her intestines fall all over the floor. Yeah guys. Message here, don't cheat. In at number 3, Reverse Bear Trap. Okay, this is one that's always stuck with me and completely freaked me out. It's from the first film, and whenever I think of the Saw movies, I think of this trap. It's a rusty helmet-like thing that's hooked onto a person's upper and lower jaw, and once it goes off, it essentially rips out the person's jaw. In the first film, this trap was used on a heroin addict named Amanda. It actually did have somewhat of a happy ending. In order to get this thing off of her face, Amanda must retrieve a key out of the stomach of her dead cellmate. So she cuts open the cellmate, gets the key, and is able to free herself just before the trap goes off. This device actually appeared 2 more times in the series, and it was even used on Detective Hoffman, who wasn't as lucky as Amanda and actually had half of his jaw ripped off, and it was also used on Jigsaw's wife and it killed her. It is without a doubt the most memorable device in the Saw franchise. In at number 2, Angel Trap. This trap is from the 3rd Saw movie, and it involves Detective Allison Carey, who was in the first 2 Saw movies as well. For this trap, Allison is suspended in the air in a harness, and she's hooked up to the ceiling with brackets connected to her rib cage. She has 1 minute to escape before the trap goes off and rips open her chest. The only problem is the key to release herself from this harness is beside her in the bottom of a large jar filled with acid. She's warned that if she doesn't act quick enough, the key will dissolve in the acid. So she does it. She actually sticks her hand into this jar of acid. Her skin's burning and peeling away from her bone, but she manages to get the key. She then unlocks the harness, but little did she know Jigsaw never had any intention of setting her free. The trap goes off and her chest is ripped open. And in at number 1, Venus Flytrap. This is from the 2nd Jigsaw movie and it's extremely gruesome. In this one, Michael is attached to what Jigsaw refers to as a death mask. It's on a spring timer. He only has 60 seconds to find the key and free himself before the trap's 2 nail spiked halves close in on his head. The best part is the key to unlock this mask is implanted behind his eyeball. So he needs to basically cut off his eyeball to free himself. Yeah, it's disgusting. He's unable to cut into his eye, so the trap shuts on his face and kills him. And there you have it, that's a list of top 5 scary jigsaw traps. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.